All right, so now let's take a look at some of the agent settings within the RealComp Online system. So I'm going to click on My RealComp Online and then navigate down to Settings. And essentially what this page is an agent setting area. So for example, if as an agent I would like to include an email signature of all correspondence now that goes out to my clients, this is where I would add that signature. And of course I have a spell check here as well if I need it. We saw earlier on reports as well as the client portal an agent header and footer. Well, this is where that agent header and footer was created. So I'll simply click on the agent header and footer link. And we have some system defaults here to choose from. These are default headers that were included in with the system. Of course, agents also have the ability to upload their own custom header and footer images, and that's what I've done here. So I've clicked on upload custom header footer image, and then if you want to navigate down to next, set my information, click on that link, and this is where you would essentially choose your agent header and footer from your hard drive to include. Now there's two sets here. One is for your screen view and one is for your print view. To add a custom header for your screen view, the dimensions need to be 745 by 85 pixels. And for your print copy, you need 670 times 85 pixels. All right. So once you have that done, you upload that and it is saved by clicking on the save icon here. And those will be included in your reports or your client portal. All right. So I'm just going to cancel out of this. And let's take a look at speedbar shortcuts. Well, we created a custom speedbar shortcut earlier by essentially isolating an area on the map and calling it my area. Well, again, you can create many custom speedbar shortcuts. Well, here's where you would manage those. So simply click on speedbar shortcuts, and this will generate a list of all your speedbar shortcuts in the system. If we'd like to manage this particular one, I would just click on the link. Well, you recognize this as my isolated area on my map. So if I want to adjust this area or if I want to delete any of these shapes, I would simply update that and click OK. I'm not going to in this case, but I would add additional criteria here if I'd like. But for now, I'm just going to leave it as it is. And this is where, again, I would manage my speedbar shortcuts from. All right, so the next feature I'd like to take a look at are creating team settings. And essentially what the team setting allows the agent to do is invite other agents to participate on part of this agent's team to work on behalf of them. So essentially, if I would like another agent to work on behalf of myself, I would invite them as one of my team members. So simply by clicking on team settings and then creating a team, and this is where I would select which agent I'd like to invite as a member of my team. I would enter in the agent's ID here and invite them to work on behalf of me. From the agent's perspective, when they log into their system, up here in the corner, they'll have the option to select me as their team leader and work on behalf of me. So they would just hover over and click on the box and select my name as their team leader, and that would take them into my system to work on behalf of them. So whenever they send out correspondence to one of my clients, it will arrive on behalf of me, their team leader. All right, so let's take a look at custom displays. Now, we've already seen a few different displays within the system. We've seen single line displays, we've seen thumbnail displays, we've seen full displays. Now, what we do is we give the agent the ability to create their own displays. So let's take a look at one of our previous searches here. And you can see that on this particular search, we have MLS number, we have the status, we have the area, the address, the city. Well, these are fields that were chosen for this particular display by the MLS. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to create our own custom display. And we'll do that by clicking on My RealComp Online, Settings, and then Custom Displays. And it's very, very easy to create a custom display. All we need to do is click on the Add link. And here's where we select which fields we'd like to display in our custom display. So I'm going to choose full bass. I'm just going to actually choose some random ones here. I'm not going to put a lot of time or effort into it, but essentially these are the fields that are available to input by, so we're also going to make them available to view our display by. So I'm just going to click on the add, and this will add our selected fields into the selected column list. And we're going to make sure that we have a checkbox added. There may occasionally be additional options here, but here is where we're going to add our custom name. So let's call this My Custom Display. All right, so we're going to call this My Custom Display. We've chosen the fields that we'd like to add to our display, and we've chosen, if any, our special columns, and now I'm just going to click on Save. All right, so now with our custom display created, what I'm going to do is I'm going to return to one of our search results. And instead of viewing this result as the MLS display, this is the MLS single line display, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose from our display list my custom display. And what this will do is it will display our listing results in our custom display mode. So these are the fields that I've chosen. Again, it's not very pretty. An agent would definitely spend more time in selecting and deciding which fields they'd like to add. But these are the fields that I've chosen, and this is now my custom display. So it's very, very easy to create your own. So now let's go into My Real Comp Online settings, and now let's create a custom export. So scroll down to the bottom, and we see custom exports. Well, custom exports work essentially in the exact same way as the custom displays. So we're just going to add an export. And again, we see all the fields essentially that we have the ability to input by. So we're just going to select some random ones here. And we're going to add those. And essentially what a custom export will do, I'm going to call this My Custom Export. And essentially what a custom export will do is it will allow us to export these particular fields from our selected listings. All right, so there may be some data that we want specifically from our listings. Well, here's where we would create and add that data. So I'm just going to save that. And so I now have my own custom export created. So now let's generate our result set like we did before. Okay, we're going to go back to the single line and click on Actions. Check off which listings we'd like to export. And now our export feature becomes alive. And now we click on the export link. And we have from our drop-down My Custom Export. Now there may be MLS exports created in there for you as well, but for now we just have the My Custom Export that we just created. So we'd click Export, and this would be exported as a CSV file.